Hey everybody, welcome back to the Come Out Gin. So if you were on our live on Friday, you know that we had an issue, a small one, with the wood stove. More so with the flue. We had a little bit of a burnout, which is normal. A light burnout inside the chimney is okay, but we had a problem at the top. What happened, I'm doing something in the pantry. No, I was on the front deck. Sarah was in the pantry and she's coming towards me. She says, "Hey, something smells really hot. I don't know what it is." So I turn on the light over in the kitchen area and I see that the flue has gone from silver to gray. And I instantly knew what it was. I've been through chimney fires before on the farm and other places where I've had wood stove. And I took off the cap, which is right here on the T, and looked up. There was only a few small embers inside the main chimney flue, but at the cap, it was burning. So I ran outside to see how bad it was, and it was in flames. I came back in and I grabbed my fire extinguisher and stuck the fire extinguisher up in there and doused it out. Yes, it is 15 feet up in the air, but all you're trying to do is you're trying to rob out of its oxygen. By putting the fire extinguisher up in there, it's going to steal the oxygen from it and put it out pretty quickly. Yes, there's oxygen up top, but the heat has come from down below. It did smother it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to clean the flue, as well as set the Obadiah 2000 up for its winter configuration. Some of you are familiar with our stove. It has a wood firebox here, which is huge. Has the oven over here for cooking, and the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the top off. Sarah's going to take that outside. Sorry, get her a little cockeyed there. There we go. And she's going to scrub that down. I'm going to clean the top real quick, and then we're going to reassemble it after we clean the flue into its winter configuration. Now what is that? Well, as you can see back here, we just have the warming shelf, the pipe, and the back of the stove. We have a 22-gallon tank that'll sit right here and stretch behind over to this side, and that heats our water up in the wintertime. But what we use it for mostly is melting snow for water that is down there. And we changed from last year. We had a 100-gallon tank in the bathroom last year. The tank was down there, a 210-gallon tank. However, the sides of the crawl space were not covered. It was wide open to the elements, and there was no insulation in the floor. Now it is all underpinned and insulated with plastic vapor barrier and all that. So now it should get fairly warm down there. And currently it's 53. And the lowest we've seen it get is 51. And that was this morning. And it was 33 degrees up when I get up this morning. And it went down to 29 at the lowest point. So, and it never went below, I think it was 50 degrees. So it should be all good. So, let's get this thing unassembled, and we'll go from there. All right, Sarah, if you would be so kind, hand me that little silver bit and the yellow drill.
Yes.
And we're going to start disassembling some of this.
There's the drill.
Put that back over there if you would, please.
Yep.
What we're going to do is we're going to show you what it looks like up inside there. Grab the Olight. It's not bad. There are some chunks up in there, but it's not bad at all. It probably got burned out a little bit, which is kind of what you want to do. You should heat your stove up, your chimney up to a high temperature at least once a day to help keep it cleared out. And because it's fall and our days are in the 50s, but at night it goes down into the 30s, we're running this in the morning to warm up the house to get the chill out, and then we turn it on in the evening sometimes to cook. If it's a small meal, I'll cook it on a 2-burner stove. If it's a big meal, it's going to be cooked on here. So with the temperature fluctuations in the flue, what happens is you get condensation in there, which is going to make more creosote. So let's get this cleaned up a little bit. Let me show you guys what it looks like on the inside right now. You can see way up there, you can see the cap.
The camera actually makes it look worse than it is.
You can see it's not horrible. It's not horrible that way. But as a preventative, we are going to sweep this today, just to make sure we're okay. And I also need to send the camera up there a little bit and inspect the walls of the flue. From that point right there at the ceiling up is all stainless steel, double walled, I think they call them metal asbestos, insulated piping. It takes a high temperature to damage that stuff, so I'm not really worried about what's up there. What I need to do is clean this area here on down to make sure that's okay. All right, let's get to it. All right, we're gonna set a little tarp. This is our normal pattern.
I put the T into the chimney system just for this purpose, so we would not have to climb up onto the roof to clean it out. It has made it so much easier to do. Yes, it can be a little dirty, but that's why we have the tarp, and it works great.
And the stove is cold, so we're okay. You want to hold these for me? And this is a 7-inch flue, so we're using a 7-inch brush. Now, I expect this first section here to be pretty nasty. I'm going to hang my gloves. I don't wear a respirator for this because I hold my breath fairly well. Once I start actually sweeping it, I'll send Sarah away. What are you doing? You're getting in the way. Oh, it does create a little bit of a mess, but I don't like climbing on this roof. This is a 2-story house, and it does have quite a steep pitch. And again, I know you guys are yelling at me, wear a mask, wear a mask. I free dove for many years really deep, and I can hold my breath quite a while. So you don't suck in the dust.
Okay.
There you go. A little bit more in there than I thought. It's very deceiving. Either that or I'm getting it really well cleaned. Now we're getting the stuff at the very top at the cap, I believe. Yep, I just went up. Yeah, now. And now we're going to start disassembling it and bringing it down, doing a little bit more scrubbing the way down. Always want to make sure you hold this one up here because if you spin it off the head, it's a pain about to get out. I have done it, and I'm lucky I have high power magnets where I can stick them up in there and pull it down. Is this piece of pipe here is actually a telescoping pipe. So I'm going to disconnect it on top and bottom, and I'm going to push it down, and I'm going to take that out. I'll do it right here where I have the tarp. I really need to invest in a shop vac. Well, sir, if you want to rub that in. All right, Sarah, I will take this outside and set it out front for you.
Okay. I have a bucket for hot water and I have some dish liquid. Oh yeah, should be safe there.
There you go.
Oh, goody. Some of it just needs wiping down, which is also done 2 or 3 times a day.
Right.
All right, let's leave Sarah to her magic and let her get it cleaned up. Let's go back inside.
This is not a stainless steel top, it is a steel top, so occasionally to make it look better, we give it a little bit of sand, not very hard. That's about all I'm gonna do on it because I don't want to do it too much. I'll give it a really heavy cleaning in the springtime before we stop using it. And Zeus is walking around trying to figure out why I'm talking to myself. All right, so now we have to clean out this section here. This is where the smoke and heat comes around when you're having a bake mode. And yes, the tool I normally have for this broke. So I'm using a 16 and 18 millimeter. And you can see the fly ash in there right away. Let me get the flashlight. You can see the ash in there. And it's pretty fine. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take our handy dandy little device here and get it out of there.
This part of the stove usually has just fly ash on it and a very small pinch of creosote buildup, as you can see here as I get it going.
Plate back on and get to the next section. Hi, can I help you? He wants his attention. My Zuby. Anyways, let's clean the underside of the fire of the oven. I'm gonna pop that open. Well, let me show you. Being rude. All right, so this here, we're gonna take that, lift it over, and I'm gonna give this to Sarah for Sarah to scrub later on. And we got 2 wing nuts. Oops. The extra part where it seals it is okay. I now need to come over here and get my ash bin from under here. Now we're going to take, well, let me show you guys. That's what I'm going to get out of there. It won't take long. Doing this maintenance now is going to save me a lot of headache in the wintertime. I'll have to do this probably around December again. All right, let's get this section cleaned up. You can see all that fine ash, that's the fly ash. There is a section over this way that is open to the firebox. That's how all this gets in there. All right, so we're gonna stick the phone up in there and make sure we got everything cleared out.
The chunk you see on the left does come out eventually. I had to get a coat hanger to scrape it out with, but it came out.
That section looks pretty good now. So we're gonna put the parts back on, minus the door. I give the door to Sarah to give it a good scrub. And let's get on to the next section. Be right back. All right, so here's the firebox. That piece of wood's turned into charcoal and it's got a little bit of embers under it. How we're not getting smoke in the house, I don't know. Well, probably because it's burning nice and clean. Okay, so let's clean up the ash area. We're gonna stick the ashtray back in. And grab our handy dandy little thing here and just start raking it around. It's falling down to underneath. Alright, and I'm not going to clean this out 100%. I always like to keep at least a ½ inch of ash inside. Now, this door's got a lot of fly ash on it. So I'm just going to wet rag. A little bit of elbow grease work, but it will come up. I'm not looking to see 100% clean, because it's getting into the evening and I need to make dinner. We have paper towels, baby?
Yes.
All I'm using is just a little bit of the ash itself and water. And I said I'm not looking to have it 100%, just better than what it was.
I'm trying not to edit this part here so you guys can see how long it actually takes to clean the glass. It didn't take very long.
Thank you. You just set it right here on my meter. Well, I guess I got it better than I thought. And it wasn't that long. You saw how long it took? Maybe about what, 5 minutes, if that? What do you think, baby?
Oh my gosh, it looks totally different. The oven, on the other hand, does not.
Yeah, well, that's different type of,
It is
it's
different.
baked on oils and stuff like that to get into that.
Yep.
Not a whole lot we can do about that there. And now, you can actually see, well, you see my reflection, but you can actually see inside. I'll show you more when I light it up here in a little bit after we get this all fully assembled again. And yes, I'm wearing nice grubby clothes today so I can make a mess. Sarah will tell you, I'm very good at that.
Superb. The excels.
I need to make a new handle for this door. When we got the stove delivered, I actually broke it. My fault. All right, give me a couple minutes here. I'm gonna try to clean up this area a little bit before the boss shoots me. She's already grumbling and making funny faces at me. I don't know if I should be scared or if I should just feed her. She might just be hungry. Don't know. But we're having a roast tonight, so I need to get this done. Be back. I'm gonna do this a little differently than I normally do. I'm gonna put the stack on before I put everything else on. It'll make it a little bit easier on me so I can get around it to maneuver everything around the way I need to do it.
Alright, so this part here only took me a few minutes to get done. The flue going up is kind of a pain in the butt to get lined up on the back of the stove. From there, it gets pretty dang easy.
All right, we're gonna put the door on real quick. Now that Sarah's got it as clean as she can get it. And that's it. Of course, now I've got my fingerprints all over it. We're gonna put the water tank on the back and get that screwed in, and then we're gonna put the warming shelf back on. Hang on there.
Has that been dusted in its lifetime?
The outside's inside, the outside needs to be wiped. And it's on. All right, so the water tank is now installed. Get you guys where you need to be. I'm sorry there's not better light over here, but I'm sure you understand. So now I use this angle to get into places a little bit easier. And that's it on that. Alright, so now I'll go out and I will grab the warming shelf while Sarah runs upstairs and grabs the lid for the tank. Alright, so there is one hex head that stays in, and you have a slot there, so you're just gonna in, lined up. Alright, so there is, whoa, there's actually one more thing I've got to do. So what did I forget? The valve. If I don't put that in, there's gonna be water all over the floor. And I'll get yelled at, and then I gotta fear for my life yet again. Alright. I put it right about there, so she can open and close it. I'm actually going to put another piece underneath here to go to a hose that'll reach underneath the couch to fill the tanks up. All right, so let's review this one more time. All right, so we have a 22-gallon water tank on the back. It does have a crossover that goes over in front of the chimney behind the warming shelf. You have a drain valve here, and we will put some water in that to keep it so it doesn't get ruined. There's a secondary drain here. That's if we decide we want to put in the fire tube that goes in there, which goes inside the stove to heat water to make this heat faster, or to put radiant floor heating in, or to hook up to a water tank. We don't have a water tank, we use instant water. So if anything, this would go to a radiant floor heating or to go onto the crawl space to keep the water from freezing. But we were working on a remedy for that now. We're not going to worry about that too much. And these do have lids. Where are the lids, sir? Are you done cleaning them?
Yes, they're cleaned and dry.
All right, could you hand them to me?
I can.
For some reason, a minute ago, my camera said I only had 5% battery. Now all of a sudden, it's saying I've got 100% battery again. There's that.
Yay.
There's the Obadiah 2000.
Oh, this is
Made by Hecko. So I'm getting ready to make dinner. I'm gonna set you guys down. I'm gonna get a fire going and make my dinner. I'm hungry. Back in a minute. All right, fire started. Time to make some dinner.
Well, that's it for this week, guys. I do appreciate you stopping by and watching the video. If you get a chance, please like, share, subscribe, and give it a thumbs up. Also, this week's photo was taken at Babcock Webb down in Punta Gorda, Florida. This is a wildlife management area. It's an amazing place to see. I've been all through it, and you'll see all manners of critters down there for Florida. Anyways, don't forget our lives on Monday night at 4. We will be followed by Adam and Phyllis at Alaska Cut the Cord at 5:45. Hope to see you there. Have a great night. Bye.